Good evening and welcome to the Daily Aztec broadcast. I'm Reese Savoy.
And I'm Jenna Meyer. On April 22nd, the California State University and University of California systems announced all students, faculty, and staff will be required to be fully vaccinated prior to returning to campus in the fall. The requirement will go into effect at the start of the fall 2021 term, or upon one or more vaccines receiving FDA approval. An email to the SDSU community from President Adela de la Torre, Vice President of Student Affairs and Campus Diversity J. Luke Wood, and Associated Students President Christian Holt reaffirmed the administration's commitment to campus health and safety. On April 16th, Californians 16 and up are eligible to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. For more information about how and where to schedule an appointment, visit myturn.ca.gov.
On April 23rd, former Olympic gold medalist, reality TV star, and transgender woman Caitlyn Jenner announced that she plans on running for California governor in a recall election to replace current Governor Gavin Newsom. Jenner, a Republican and California resident of nearly 50 years, stated in a press release on Twitter that a formal announcement regarding her candidacy would be released in weeks to come. Her campaign, Caitlyn for California, is based on the premise of providing a roadmap back to prosperity after having denounced the ways in which Newsom has handled the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. After exceeding the necessary 1.5 million signatures, the recall election is anticipated to qualify for ballot in the near future. Counties across California have the remainder of April to verify and report signatures supporting the recall, which will then undergo a cost estimate by the state financial department. Pending approval, the election will likely take place this fall. To follow along with Jenner's campaign, visit her website at CaitlynJenner.com.
On April 22nd, undocumented queer activist Julio Salgado spoke at the SDSU Pride Center, focusing on film, art, and conversation. As a preteen navigating a new culture and the American immigrant experience, he realized he had a knack for art. Salgado attended Long Beach City College to take art classes before transferring to Cal State Long Beach, where he focused on journalism. His work and stories have hit the mainstream. Salgado has been getting involved with the Hollywood scene, with his art appearing in many different shows. The artist is currently working on art to pay tribute not only to his uncle, but to members of the queer community lost in the 90s.
Now on to sports. It seems like it's been more than just a few months, but football is back and the NFL draft is finally here. The Aztecs are looking forward to hearing their names called during the 3-day event as well.
Those players? Cornerback Darren Hall, safety Tarik Thompson, and safety Dwayne Johnson Jr. We'll start with Darren Hall, a key component through his years in SDSU's passing defense. A 6-foot, 190-pound corner, Hall has size and ball skills. His natural ball hawk instincts earned him 3 interceptions and 6 passes defensed in 2020. He also proved he was able to cover the fastest wide receivers in the Mountain West as an Aztec. He's also not afraid to get physical. And not only against wide receivers he's covering. He showed his durability as an Aztec by putting up over 100 tackles and 2.5 sacks and 6 picks during his 4-year career. Expect Hall to be an early 3rd-day pick. He's currently projected to be selected in round 5 or 6.
Tarik Thompson is another DB who has experienced years of success on the Mesa. Thompson was heavily involved playing the Warrior safety position as an Aztec, but is also versatile in that he could move to nickel if needed. The native San Diegan had just 1 interception last season, but totaled 153 tackles, 6 forced fumbles, and 12 interceptions during his 4 years at SDSU. Like Hall, Thompson's ball skills are arguably his best attribute. Some teams might overlook Thompson on day 3 in the draft, but it would be hard to imagine him falling lower than 5th or 6th round.
Moving on to the 3rd prospect, safety Dwayne Johnson Jr. Unrelated to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Johnson Jr. is likely the most versatile of the DBs. With enough speed to keep up with wideouts and pass coverage, and a downhill stopper, Johnson Jr. can do it all on defense, whether lining up as a safety or a linebacker hybrid. The 6'1" DB had a break in 2019 with 92 tackles and a year in which he posted 39 total tackles during last year's shortened COVID season. Although Johnson Jr.'s production slightly dropped in 2020, he's still a defensive anchor and will provide reliability wherever he plays. Johnson Jr. is likely to be a late-round draft pick or enter up as an undrafted free agent.
We'll continue to have weekend-long coverage of the draft, and you can find where all the Aztecs land online at thedailyaztec.com. Also, for other SDSU sports, be sure to follow us at DAztec Sports and at The Daily Aztec on all social media platforms.
That's all from us here in the studio. Thanks for watching, and make sure to keep your eyes peeled for our next broadcast on all the latest SDSU news. And for the Daily Aztec, I'm Jenna Meyer.
And I'm Reese Savoy. Have a great night.